Hi besties, welcome in. Today we have a juicy one. We're gonna talk about the Gamescom situation. But before we get into that, I have some stuff I wanted to talk about regarding the boycott. Now, I firmly believe, and I've said this in my other videos, I don't believe in policing anybody about the boycott. I don't think it's my business. I don't believe in controlling what people do. At the end of the day, you're an adult. You can pick and choose what you want to do. I think the most important thing when it comes to the boycott is obviously to not spend. That's the number one priority. Obviously, not logging in is also a very important part, but money is the number one that will always be the most important thing. So since Raphael's myth came out, there's been people who were supposedly a very big part of the boycott, and then they ended up spending money on the myth, and people got very, very upset and disappointed by it, which I completely understand. And there's also recently been a conversation been popping around that it's okay to spend a little bit on a boycott, which is not really how it works. I don't know where it's coming from. See, I will not judge people who don't want to boycott. If you want to play, play. Who am I to tell you what to do? But the thing I have an issue with, and I think is just kind of a big BS, is people who are pretending to be a part of the boycott for different reasons. I don't know if it's because they want the likes, they want the clicks, they want the attention that comes with it, because there's a lot of Valko supporters who are very passionate about the whole thing. Who knows what's the actual reasoning? But don't pretend to be part of the boycott just for you to flip on it the second a myth or a card that you want drops. That's just cringe. That's honestly lame. Just, if you're not gonna participate in the boycott from the beginning and you know that, just don't pretend. Don't be fake. That's something that I definitely don't get why people are doing, and I do not support this type of behavior. That's really, really weird. And because of, well, I guess it kind of brings me to my next point, which is more me putting my tinfoil hat on, a bit more conspiracy theory. And again, this is just my personal opinion. This is not verified. This is me just thinking and me being like, ooh, juicy tea. I think that in the Valko community, in the Valko supporter community, there are a lot of imposters among us. I've seen a lot of posts coming out of people claiming they have good news or some sort of leaks, or people that are encouraging certain things, certain behaviors. And that makes me think that there are certain people who pretend to be Valko supporters, but are actually not. And they post certain things to get people relaxed or hopeful, so they stop boycotting as hard or at all, or, kind of make them relax and not worry about it. That's me saying it. And I'm not saying that to stir panic and oh my god, you're an enemy. No, it's more of if you see a post that maybe looks too good to be true, or kind of feels out of nowhere, and it's why would they say that? It's more for you to question some of the things that kind of look a bit off, and not just necessarily go and straight believe into what some people say when it comes to leaks and sort of those things. And again, this is completely my tinfoil hat speculation. And that's just what I wanted to say. I was just thinking about it, so I decided to say it. Think of it what you will, do with it what you will. This is just me yapping. So now to the biggest kaboom kablow. Gamescom. Infold announced they're going to Gamescom in 8 days. And that very much came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody really expected it. Now, I will say, I've been to Gamescom one time. It was really fun. I think it was 2018, I believe. See, it's been a long while, okay? But I believe, if my memory serves me right, that usually you will know about participations a lot longer in advance than this. This feels insanely last minute. It's literally a week away. It's really, really close. So I don't know if that was really a last minute thing that they decided to do, or that was supposed to be as a surprise. Who knows? Who knows? But it definitely feels a bit weird how close it is to the date of the event. Now, the announcement put everything up in flames. People are pissed, I think valid for a good reason. And I think the main issue that it created is it felt like it really split? What the hell? It split the community in two almost. You have a section of people who want to complain to Gamescom to have the event cancelled. And then you have a section of people that say, no, this is a good thing. Let them go. Let them see what happens, or let the event flop, basically. And I think this is a very complex situation. I understand the opinions that are coming from both sides. I'm like very in the middle because I do really get what both sides are saying, and people have valid points. Now, I'm gonna say my like general opinion, okay? If you disagree with me with what I'm about to say, it's completely okay. We're allowed to have different opinions. That is all good. If your opinion differs than mine and you want to write it in the comments, please make sure to do it in a nice, respectful way. We can have a conversation, we can have disagreements, we can have different opinions, but I will not tolerate if you attack me or send hate my way. You will be removed from the channel. I am not gonna play around with that. That's just me saying it because I've seen people get really, really heated over the subject. I'm simply saying I will not tolerate any type of unhinged behavior. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so baseline, I think Infold should have never agreed to participate in Gamescom out of respect for the global player base. You cannot just call yourself a company that is trying to reach global audience or expand the global audience while you're actively ignoring your current global audience. I don't know how Gamescom work in a sense of if the game company themselves ask to participate or Gamescoms are the one that invites. If they've been invited, they should have declined. And if they asked Gamescom to participate, they should have never asked in the first place. That I will 100% stand on. That's my firm belief. They have no right to be there, especially at the current state of everything going on. There's a lot of different opinions about how everything needs to go down. There's a lot of people that want to get the event cancelled. Now, to that, I can say I fully really agree. In my opinion, we need to stand on the side of the boycott, not the side of cancel culture. I don't think that it's the right approach, personally. In my opinion, it's very much like, don't become what you seek to destroy. Obviously, having an event canceled just by, sending emails and complaints is by no means the same level as what the Antis did when Velko got canceled. They sent cow dung, they did a bunch of unhinged stuff, they went to their offices and they were completely unhinged and crazy. By no means are these two are comparable. Baseline action and what you are trying to do is stooping to the same territory of action when you're trying to get something canceled. And people might get upset at me for saying that, but that's how I see it from the side. And again, by no means is it the same intense level as the CDG. Don't twist my words. But I think genuinely it's better to let them have the event and fail at it. Obviously, failure is not guaranteed, but I think potential failure is better than having the event canceled and making them a potential victim of a hate campaign. because that's what they're going to turn it into. That's what the antis will turn it into. And that will put everything onto the Valko fans, and that will not be a good look. That will just, I think, will make things way, way, way worse. I think it's better to provide them the opportunity to fail. Obviously, there will be people, because with Gamescom, you walk around, there's a lot of different booths. You walk, there's games you don't even know about, and be like, oh my god, what is this? Especially if they have cosplayers, oh my god, hot men. But I think if you go there as a lads fan, just don't interact, or just like have some random Velcro posters, or, you know, just don't interact with the booth is the best way you can go about that. And if, hopefully, the booth will be as empty as possible, and I hope especially compared, I heard that they were there last year, so hopefully it will be a lot less people than last year, and that will really like show them. And I want to say that I am by absolutely no mean am I trying to defend Infold or say that we need to protect them and pat them on the head. Absolutely not, because like I said at the start, I don't think they should even participate in the first place. Nuh-uh. And I don't think there is anything wrong with saying what you think out loud, whether it's to tag Gamescom and letting them know what's going on and expressing the frustration. I think that is completely okay to do. I don't have any problem with people expressing their pain, expressing their frustration, but from that to going to try to cancel the event, I think that's where it can take things too far. And it's not for the sake of Infold, it's for the sake of our community and how that could make everybody look. That's the main thing. Again, having the event canceled will make them a victim. It will. And if not straight away, then all the antis will turn it into a hate campaign. And that's what I really don't want to happen. I am also mad at Infold after all this silence and ignoring everything. It's genuinely it's so disappointing. It's genuinely so disappointing, and it is upsetting. Boycotts are about holding accountability and demanding the change you want. And I've seen people say that, you know, you can go up to them and talk to them and let your voices be heard. At the end of the day, it's just gonna be a booth with normal workers. The CEO is not gonna be there. There's not gonna be any people from Infold. It's just gonna be random people that got hired to work on a random booth and a random con. Like, it's not gonna be the press, okay? It's like, the booth is not the press that some people think it is. At the end of the day, you choose to do what you want to do. If you want to email Gamescom, who's going to stop you? Nobody. But I don't know. I feel like this is not the correct way to approach it by trying to get it canceled. I know emotions are high. I am genuinely shocked at how they decided to approach all of this. All right, so let's see the comments under the post. Hunter, seriously, go to the event, prepare your posters and Velcro merch, do Velcro cosplay if you can, chant a woo when you can, just be respectful towards cosplayers and staff. Those cosplayers know Velcro's coaster, they know how much work was put in him, they will understand why you protest, just be respectful. Yeah, it's very important to stay respectful and, you know, don't bother people who are just there to, you know, do their day job. Love is a movie that never ends, but you deleted a love interest and ended everything. Love has become a joke in your game's name. Ooh, cold. Lads 6, girl, tell your CEO that whatever he's thinking he's doing, he's failing. 6 would look so much better, I'm just saying. You're really embarrassing yourself, Infold. Should have really skipped Gamescom this year, at least showed some semblance of sensitivity. If you don't care about your players, it's the one consistent message you're willing to give. This is so cute. This art is absolutely adorable. Are you reposting because you got ratioed in the comments? This won't help, you'll just be ratioed again. Apparently this is a repost. We can't wait to meet all the mist hunters there. What about us that can't wait to meet Velcro in the game, as promised? We can't wait to meet him, so please hurry the F up and bring him back to us. Re-reveal Valko and we can be friends again. Until then, no Valko, no money. We protest peacefully, we praised your company, we cleared Valko's name for you while you ignored us completely. How actually dare you? Are cow done people attacking you the only ways that make you listen? How can you stand by people who... Yeah, this is... That whole thing with the... Like, I can't talk about this stuff on YouTube, but the whole thing was absolutely horrendous. Ignoring your global players while showing up at a global game conference is tone deaf. Address your players and make right on your promise. Wow, we got what we wanted. So true. The word love has not been associated with you since June 30th, 2026. It's disgusting how you pretend that nothing is happening. This is so right, my neighbors are going crazy. Can you believe it? Last year you won Best Mobile Game there. This year, your 1.2 star app rating globally, the worst financial month in history, deleted an entire character, no MS for over 8 months, ignore customers for 6 weeks. It ain't looking good, Chief. How dare Infold to post about a global event while ignoring global player base? This is insane to so many levels. It is. Dear Gamescom, as Europe's largest gaming event, your platform represents community safety and respect in the gaming industry, and this is why global community needs to bring an ongoing critical issue to your attention regarding one of your attendees, Infold Paper Games. For over a month and a half, global players have maintained an active boycott following the sudden cancellation of Valko. Despite continuous outreach, thousands of feedback submissions, petitions, and significant global concern, Infold has chosen complete radio silence, acting as if their global audience simply does not exist. Worse, the silence has real-world consequences. Enabling harassment, Infold failed to protect Valko and has stayed silent while supporters face relentlessly daily toxicity and bullying across platforms. By refusing to speak out or set community standards, their silence acts as implicit approval of toxic culture, disrespecting the global market, continuing business as usual, while ignoring a dedicated player base of nearly 50 days demonstrates a severe disregard for global consumer trust. Now, Infold is heading to Gamescom to market themselves on an international stage while actively shutting out the very community that supports them. True community engagement isn't just about showing up at the prestigious conventions to promote a brand, it's about accountability, transparency, and protecting players from toxicity. We ask Infold to finally address the global player base, condemn the target harassment, and take accountability before stepping onto the Gamescom stage. See, I think these are all very, very fair points. There is nothing wrong here. This is I think a very good representation of how it's okay this is how you correctly express what's been going on. And I think bringing it to their attention has no issues. This is completely valid. Be we want them to acknowledge, we want them to respond. We want to hear what's happening. We want a reply, we want something. If you're attending a global event while ignoring the global player base, we have something went wrong, for sure. So I think this is very, very well said. Don't cancel Gamescom. If Infold really choosing to face global players in person, let them. Gamescom could be the first real chance for global players to be heard directly. Don't let them take that opportunity away from us. Let them show up, let them face players. Now, I don't think... I get where this is coming from, but I don't think this is correct. At the end of the day, this is going to be, like I said earlier, it's going to be a booth. It's just going to be a booth with normal workers. When people say this type, they think it's going to be some sort of press conference or something with actual people from Infold, which sadly that's not going to be the case. If it was, then I'd be yeah, sure, that fair. But it's not going to be like this. Everyone can cancel me if they want, but I must disagree. Let them face us based on what exactly? Anime Expo already answered this. There was no Q&A, no additional statement, no acknowledgement of anything, just the booth, merch, and cosplayers with Valko already stripped from all of it. They're not going there to face players or address us. They're going there to collect your money and spit in your face while pretending the last 45 plus days of silence and utter disrespect never happened. Gamescom won't be different because Anime Expo was earlier in the movement. They're selling the merch without Valko. Valko is still cancelled. Expecting a face-to-face reckoning with a company that won't even post a sentence acknowledging the boycott online is just, I have no words. And who are you going to meet? The CEO, the investors will only be seeing staff and cosplayers that have nothing to do with this. And let's be clear about what letting them show up actually means in practice. People spending money on merch in the event. Infold is so perfectly trying to fill up their pockets again right after awful July revenue. Obviously, I don't know how it was last year. There might be a merch booth, official merch booth. I'm not really sure. But I believe what they did show in their post is like giveaway items, like the door thingy, the fan, the bags. Usually in a lot of booths, they give away like free trinkets, free stuff. So I believe those that they showed are gonna be part of the things they just give away for free. That's just like something that I don't know if they're gonna have their own official merch booth. And I think it's really important for if like you do go there and they do sell merch, just don't buy it. And if the plan is to starve them from revenue until they answer for what they did, cheering them into a bigger platform to sell more product and advertise to gain new players works directly against that. The kind of thinking needs to stop getting a pass. They've had over a month and a half to explain themselves. They choose silence. Nothing about a conversation booth changes that. Please, everyone, respect yourself and all the hard work you've done the past months. Hey, Infold, are you really going to Gamescom carrying this with you? Ongoing Bad Batch stuff and a community crisis you still haven't meaningfully addressed. International event, international audience, same silence. Maybe deal with your community before presenting yourself as a welcoming global brand. 100%. You cannot just go to a public global event while actively ignoring your entire global player base. So apparently Chinese Girls See Gamescom event is a good thing for Valko relaunch. Going to Cologne Fair is actually good news. If he didn't care about the overseas market, he would have just skipped it, but since he went, it shows he's still keen on expanding abroad. I don't think this is by any means good news related to Valko or anything helpful to the cause at all. So like this I don't agree with. Gamers, be aware 11 Deepspace does not respect its global players, have not communicated with us what has been going on, left us in the dark about timeline and promises made while addressing their Chinese fan base. Even with a 70+% drop in revenue, they still won't update us. They are actively ignoring the very fan base they want to expand into. They promised a major update. They reaffirmed that the character they had marketed and launched would not be removed for any reason, then did a 180 and removed him a few days later. They announced they would be dropping new content, Raphael's Myth, in July, then remained radio silent and did not release it until a month after they said they would zero communication or acknowledgement. Infold continues to make promises to players on their official platforms that they cannot keep. They prove over and over their official channels are unreliable, unprofessional, and flippant. Infold is not at a level of prestige and professionalism that warrants being participated in Gamescom, regardless of why Infold is in the situation they are in now. Their treatment of customers and failure to communicate the most basic information necessary for players to make informed decisions about their game is unacceptable. And this is, the statement is absolutely correct. Them canceling Billy World and still thinking they can go to Gamescom is really proof that they take the global and our criticism less seriously. They're scared of backlash from Asian fans, but think global fans are pushovers and will take whatever is given without complaint. I hope European fans learn their experience at Gamescom this year, and I'm so serious. I hope lads look so bad at Gamescom reconsider ever inviting them again. Reap what you saw. I think the best course of action is them going to Gamescom and their booth completely flopping. And that's what I personally hope happens. That basically most of the people that are aware of what's happening don't interact, don't go near. So yeah, the Gamescom stuff is insane. Again, keep it respectful. I don't want people to attack me or anybody else or each other. So it's a mess. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, keep it nice, keep it respectful. And I will see you all in the next video. Mwah.